2,400 meters. Hood on, Green Phantom, gate 10, all set. And away they go from the 2,400 meter marker. Graylingari the first to go. H2O is right there. Drambuie is towards the outside. Ominius trying to overcome the draw. Further back in the run is Ellis Island. Then comes Mountain of Gold. That's got the white cap. And Command Council's towards the inside. Then comes Do Re Mi. It's racing about 7 or 8 lengths off the leader at this stage. H2O back in that second position is just going to have to settle as they start to slow the pace down. Awesome Exo's further back, then Green Phantom and Smoke Signals at the back of the field. Arminius is the leader. H2O is back in that second position. Drambuie's in the third spot, then Graylingari. They're followed by Command Council. That's got about 5 lengths to make up. Further back in the run, then we find Mountain of Gold. That's got the white cap. Green Phantom just got a flick. Awesome Exo's further back in the run. Ellis Island's just in front of that group, and then comes Smoke Signal as they move towards that 1,500 meter region. Arminius by a length, Drambuie is second, and H2O is at the rail in third. Then comes Mountain of Gold, that's got the white cap. On the outside of that, Smoke Signal. Graylingari's along the inside, then Green Phantom. Do Re Mi's between runners, and then comes Ellis Island. And further back in the run is Awesome Exo about 9 or 10 lengths off the leader. They're not going all that quick, and Arminius sets the pace. Drambuie second, H2O every chance is at the rail third, only 2 lengths off the leader. Then Mountain of Gold, Graylingari. Smoke Signal going around them on the move. Then Do Re Mi. Further back, Ellis Island. Green Phantom, Awesome Exo and Command Council's the trailer. About to be homeward bound, Arminius still leads it. Drambuie the first to challenge. Smoke Signal's coming around them. H2O's going to go through down the inside with Graylingari. The outside of that, Mountain of Gold. Coming down to the 300 meter marker now. And on the outside, coming home strongly is Do Re Mi. Do Re Mi. H2O is on the inside. Graylingari. Arminius is fighting back. Down the inside, Ellis Island. Do Re Mi. H2O is now putting it together. Graylingari on the inside. H2O now down the inside, Ellis Island, but Do Re Mi's finding H2O and Do Re Mi, and H2O just in front and won by a half length. Second Do Re Mi, third to Graylingari, maybe Ellis Island ran fourth. So H2O, the soft falling rain. Michael Roberts for Nick Johnson wins it under Serena Moodley, and you'll see wins at the end easier than that length because he's still very green, but he wins it. And number 2 at 220 is the winner. Number 5 looked a big danger. Do Re Mi 320 a place. Graylingari runs into the third position, and then it's about 3 lengths back. I think Ellis Island will just run fourth, and then came Arminius. And further back in the run was Command Council, and then came Mountain of Gold. So the pick 6 pool got to 1 million, or almost 1.3 million, and H2O is putting it together now. In the early stages, he just had his head up in the air for a while, but obviously he's still a big baby, and it's only his 4th run, and he appreciated the extra trip, and they end up winning by 3/4 or 1 length at the business end. Until the 5th race, back to the studio.
H2O has won and taken home the first prize for Michael Roberts, Nick Johnson and Serena Moodley. But the groom is Azola, and he takes home 1,000 Rand, and he's going to enjoy his 1,000 Rand. Of that we have no doubt. On behalf of Hollywoodbets and Gold Circle, enjoy the reward. Well done, Azola. Thank you very much. Let's see where Serena is. Well, let's start with Michael. Let's get Michael in. Serena is still, we can't see him. Congratulations. This horse, Sheldon and I picked him out in the parade ring. He stood out head and shoulders. But I can't help but get the feeling that you haven't got to the bottom of this horse just yet.
Most definitely not. Warren, you know, he's as a big baby. I had this race planned out at 2-4 for him quite a while back, and I thought he was probably probably good enough to have won his start before, when he won. We should have probably made a bit more use of it. But, he, even today, I was stressing, I must be honest with you, because you could see this horse, he's just going to gallop, and any speed will, will have him. His big forte is going to be stamina and, and make them work to come, to get to him, He's a big baby. He's immature. He's Nick very kindly, like, he doesn't worry you about if you say a horse needs time. Made me take my time. He came in 6 months after all other babies last year, and it looks like it's going the right way. He's still got a long way to go, but obviously a big thank you to Nick Johnson for the support, and Wilgerbos Drift. We brought them, from this stud. I see Mr. Nell is down as a breeder, and to Serena. It's the first time he's been on his back, so. Every time he's run, unfortunately, it's a different jockey, so they come back, he's a bit of a steamroller, it takes time to get going, and, that's him,
Well,
and
Michael,
staff.
absolutely.
Definitely, well done to all of them, because, he's one of the favourites in the yard, because he's so kind and he's got such a nice temperament.
You've got to be pleased with yourself as well, because you credit the staff, but you've brought this horse along the right way. Every time he's come to the races, he's learned more, he's improved. He's now in the winner's box at only the 4th time of asking, so well done to you too.
Yes, thank you. As you know, I don't rush my babies, but, obviously any horse that shows speed, you've got to carry on with. But, this is a typical individual, but, staying type, which you can't rush them, because, they still all frame. You've got to let them grow into their frame,
One more runner before we talk to Serena. Elado's Pride, what are you expecting?
Funny enough, very on a similar basis as this horse, but probably got a bit more speed. First time out the maidens, it's always very competitive, but he's a nice type as well.
Lovely. Well done, and all the best to you and your team. Let's get Serena into the winner's enclosure. Oopsie, I'm supposed to be tilting it up and it's all of a sudden going down. But well done to you. Been a little quiet by your high standards, but that's okay. We all go through quiet spells and good spells and bad spells, but welcome back.
Yes, thanks, Mr. Lanford. It's been a bit frustrating, I must be honest, but look, we're running the right races. The horses seem to find one or two better on the day, but look, we got there boxing every time we come to races, and I'm just glad I could pull this one off for Mr. Roberts and Mr. Johnson.
What's he like in trance with this horse? Because watching from the TV, and it's not a criticism, I've never ridden a horse that looked like he was wanting to pull your arms out.
Yes, look, he seemed to grab the bits on the one side, and Tristan advised me too about the horse, and he said he did the same thing last time. So look, Mr. Roberts said, look, ideally if something goes faster, let them around, and that's what happened, but they slowed it up quite a bit, and that's the reason why it looked like it was over racing. But I had him in a decent spot, and I knew once I passed he was going to quicken up smartly, and look, I'm glad he did that. And once again to Mr. Johnson, it's just a pleasure running another winner for him.
Wonderful. You've got one on the board now. The rest of the day, you've got some competitive rides. Who could be your next best? What can we keep an eye on?
Look, a lot of those Pride's a nice staying type of horse. First run out the maidens. Look, we're expecting him also to run a decent race. Mary, I'm a little bit worried the runs come a bit too soon for her, but in saying that, it's not the strongest of fields. And the rest of it, I got small chances. Also, Mr. Canamaze must have a chance in that race too.
Wonderful chatting, wonderful. Yeah, a little bit of a drought, but that's okay. The water's trickling now, and bang in the winner's enclosure. Well done, Serena.
Thank you so much, Mr. Fun. I really appreciate it. Once again, big thanks to Mr. Johnson, Mr. Roberts, and my sponsors, Uniform. Thank you.
Spot on. There we go. Winning form sponsor Serena Mudley, and he's driven H2O into the winner's enclosure. Yeah, let's keep an eye on him, as you heard from Michael. Still a big baby, and he's going to be a lovely staying type. 2, 5, 1, and 8. Those are the numbers that you're going to need for the first leg of the Pick 6. Race 5 is around the corner.